Hello friends, my name is Emile, and what's this? Gran Turismo 2? I thought you said we was done with Gran Turismo 2. Well, we were. Yeah, see, there's one more little thing to do. So, you may notice the language is a little bit different. We're actually playing this in German because I understand a little bit of German. And you may remember in our actual Let's Play, when we did the one make races, we did them for Vauxhall. However, considering I have the EU version, if you switch the language to anything else and head into the North City, you'll find Vauxhall is gone, and in its place is Opel. Now you see, this is where it gets interesting because there is actually an event for Opel. There is the Tigra Pokal, which, yeah. So yeah, we can actually do the Tigra one make race over again. However, we're going to be essentially adding on to our completion rate. So let's buy a Vauxhall Tigra because, of course, that's what we've sort of got to buy. I don't know what colour I'm going to go for. I'm going to, actually, I don't really want it in that pukey colour. I'll have it in yellow. Why not? Let's go for that. There we go. Ja, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to go and upgrade this Tigra, and then we'll head into the race. Okay, so that is the Opel built up. We're running about 236 horsepower in this, which is pretty good. And anyways, let's head into our first race, which is for normal style vehicles. Let's los! Our first race has headed to the midfield raceway, so it wasn't the last time we saw it in that last video. Anyways, I did just notice actually, it looks like they changed the model a little bit for the Tigra depending on whether it's an Opel or not. That badge does look a little bit different, and there is indeed an actual like Opel badging on the back of it, which is a little bit interesting, but there we go. Anyways, yeah, so essentially this is what we're doing in this part is we're basically playing this game through to, I believe it's 100 point something percent of completion. I'm not actually sure what the real figure is, but yeah, it's pretty easy to do. This is actually the first time I've actually seen a Gran Turismo 2 Let's Play where someone goes up to above 100%, because again, it is possible. Admittedly, it is only possible in the European versions of the game. Of course, in any other place it is Vauxhall's. It is Opel's all the way. You never see a Vauxhall, but if you switch the language on the EU version, you do find Vauxhalls. Now there are some surprising issues I am actually finding with this. I do notice Polyphony, or Polyphony I should say, did indeed translate this game to German. Oh sorry, translated it to English, and then I assume they translated it to all the other languages. The reason I can tell this is because all of the descriptions for the actual showrooms, and I'll show you this when we go back to the showroom, all of that is in English. The bottom little bit where it says the real driving simulator, instead of translating that to whatever it would be in German, they just leave it. It's the real driving simulator, and at the bottom of the screen it says developed by this guy, and all the rest of it as it normally does in the UK version. So they did a pretty lazy job of actually translating the game. I do have to say though, one positive feature is the fact that now that we're playing it in German, kilometers an hour actually makes sense. Because of course in the English speaking version it's still kilometers an hour, which kind of confuses me as to why they wouldn't go and translate. I mean, I guess English is sort of like a second language for many European countries, but I mean, why wouldn't they change it to kilometers? I mean, unless they just thought everyone in England used kilometers an hour instead of miles per hour. I don't really know, but it does irritate me a little bit. Also, all of the advertisements are still very much in English, although I assume that I can kind of forgive them for that because you'd sort of expect that, I guess. Ooh, God, this thing is not quite as nice to drive as I remember the original Tigra I had being. This is a hell of a lot more understeery. Or maybe I'm just not used to understeer, because of course the last thing I drove was the Speed 12 for the finale. Anyways, we won that race in the Tigra. There's a bunch of other Tigras, they are loft. So let's beam them out of here. And there we go, we get one. It doesn't actually say first, it just says one. We were 1, so we get 3,000 bonus. Is bonus actually? I don't know. Anyways, let's go ahead and racing and modify our Opel. Okay, time for racing modifications, and as you can see there, successful bicycle and sewing machine maker Opel went into car production right at the dawn of motoring in 1898. Now the company is owned by General Motors European brand alongside Vauxhall in the UK. So yeah, I mean, people who speak German probably wouldn't understand that. Anyways, the Opel does have a slightly different racing mod, and it has the worst wheels I've ever seen on a car as well, but skipping over that. As you can see, I definitely prefer the Vauxhall racing mod. The Opel one looks very, very odd. It kind of looks like the ice race car, but like a lot worse. Anyways, let's head back in here to do the Renin events, and let's loss that too. Okay, we head to the high-speed ring for our final race in GT2, at least until I decide to do the arcade mode. Anyways, so yeah, Opel Tigra, it does look very, very odd in this race mod. I'm just not really used to seeing the race mod for the Opel. Again, I'm used to the Vauxhall one, which was blue. You do have to admit the Vauxhall racing mod was much better. I don't know, vote in the comments, what do you prefer, this Opel mod, or do you actually prefer the Vauxhall one? Also, yeah, record, I don't know. Yeah, my German, it's, I mean, don't get me wrong, if I was, like, lived in Germany, I would be horrible, like, I'd be kicked out of there, but as, like, a just basic going over borders and so on, I guess I'd be fine. Also, I've just noticed the final song you're ever going to hear in this game is that awful, Illing in Heaven, which is, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not a terrible song per se, it's just very, very irritating. I'm kind of glad it didn't play during any of the endurance races, because I'm sure I would have probably been killed, because I don't think you could listen to it for 2 hours straight. Admittedly, I mean, the endurance races, you're probably not actually listening out for the music in that per se, but it's still nice when it's good music. Of 113.3, that's actually really damn decent. A funny thing though, it did actually try to give me Apricot Hill, however I decided not to do that considering that's sort of what I did in the Vauxhall Tigra, so I didn't really want to do the same in the Opel Tigra, so yeah, I'm assuming this probably has less viewership anyway, just because people are like, well, what's happening? I thought you did all the one-make races. God, don't let me see another one-make race. I'm sorry, but to be fair, it has been 21 laps since a one-make race. Oh, 21 laps? 21 episodes since the one-make race, so, I mean, I guess it's okay to do one now. I don't know, maybe I should have done this when I was doing the rest of the one-make races, but I figured I'd sort of leave this as like a little cliffhanger-y episode, I guess, sort of. Anyways, let's actually see what time we're going to set at the end of this. It's not going to be sub 1 minute, but it's going to be damn close to a sub 1 minute. It's going to be a 102.2. That's a damn quick lap time, especially from Opel Tigra. I'm very impressed with that. Anyways, as you can see, we won. There's no point of actually looking through the field or anything, is there? So there we go. Anyways, as you can see, I won. We get the usual 5,000 bonus, which can go into our KR. And there we go. Anyways, I shall be back in a second. Okay, there we go. That is it for the Opel one-make race. Anyways, I'm now going to go and switch back to the English language, and I will join you once again on this menu screen, and I'll show you what we just did. Okay, we are back in English, and as you can see, if we head back to the North City, Opel is nowhere to be seen, and Vauxhall is there once again. However, if we head into our home now, and into the game status, we will find a completion rate of 100.91%, which is kind of interesting. So there you go. Anyways, also you can collect all the Opel cars and transfer them into the UK version of the game relatively easily. So yeah, if you want to do that, you can do. Personally, I don't care enough to do that, but yeah. Anyways, that is it for Gran Turismo 2, and this is the actual end of the Let's Play now. I may play through the arcade mode at some point. I'll probably stream it though. So yeah, anyways, until that, I want to thank you all very, very much for watching. I basically said all I needed to say about the Let's Play and so on in episode 98, so I'm just going to do the normal outro here. Thank you all very much for watching. My name has been The Real Emile, and until next time, farewell.